Hello, Joanne Clemo here, Program Coordinator at Dementia Support Northwest, and I am here with Dr. Marci Hardy again. We are on number 3 for our Mental Health Month Awareness Stress Management Tips. So we've done breathing was the first one,
Yes.
and then nature and being outside was the second one. So what do you have for us today?
Well, thank you for having me. And today I want to talk to you guys about the concept of meditation. And I chose this week because it actually connects some of the concepts of what we've spoken about before. So meditation is, at its most fundamental form, simply removing thoughts from our brain and focusing on a single purpose. And so a lot of times when you say meditation, people think that you have to do some sort of very deep and complex exercise where you sit for 30 or 40 minutes and clear your mind of all thoughts and all activities. And that is a form of meditation, but it doesn't have to be that complex. And so the way, yeah, exactly. For those of us who don't do well at sitting still, it's good to have other options. So, at the very basic point, I like to think about meditation as the opportunity to clear negative thoughts and stressful thoughts out of our minds. So we all have busy activities going on in our day-to-days with, what we're supposed to be doing with family care, what we're supposed to be doing with paying bills and running errands and all of those things. And when you are doing a meditation, it's putting those thoughts to the side and focusing on something outside of yourself that's positive, or something inside of yourself such as your breath, but letting there be a fundamental single focus. And so there can be a breath meditation. So for example, the meditation that you do can be to sit quietly and to focus literally on the feeling of that breath, which is what we talked about the first week as breath work. There can be nature meditation where you go outside and you either walk or you sit and look at nature, and you're not sitting there in nature with your brain going a million miles an hour, but instead literally focusing on the nature. So looking at the leaves and watching them rustle, and that is the only focus that you have. Or watching the water come from the waves or down the waterfall, watching the wings of a bird, focusing as long as you can on that single moment. Maybe it's just noticing all of the different colors, feeling the sensations using your other senses. Maybe you're feeling the warmth of the sun and you just close your eyes and let that soak in and try to stay on that focus of that warmth. And that's your focus for a few minutes. Those are all forms of nature meditation. You can do what's called progressive muscular relaxation as a form of meditation, and that is where you actually clench and tighten muscles and then relax them throughout the body. And usually you'll start either at your head, your feet, or your hands. And so typically you'll have an app or someone who guides you through this. And so you have this sensation of tension. So you really feel and recognize this is what tension feels like. Because a lot of times we're very tense and we don't identify it.
Right.
So you feel purposefully, you create this extreme tension. And then as you release it, you notice that you get to a spot where you were actually at, but it's not relaxed. And when you then focus to release all the way out to relaxation, you start to identify what truly is tense, what truly is relaxed, and where you live, which is somewhere in the middle all the time. And so it's not a typical meditation in that you're having this clear, specific brain thought on a breath, but you're having this focus on this concept of relaxation.
Right.
So that is a really interesting way to do a type of meditation. You can also do what's called a mantra meditation, where you have a single thought or word that you use. So for example, people will know this as more of a chanting type of meditation. It also can be translated into a phrase. So for example, for prayer, for anyone who is from a Christian background and maybe does the Hail Mary and has their rosary beads, and they say that is a form of a meditation, especially if you sit for a period of time and you practice prayer. That is a form of meditation. There's actually been some Alzheimer's research done specifically looking at different types of meditation, and there was a type of meditation they found where they actually moved which fingers they connected, and each finger had a word that they said. Very, very basic words. And the process of the combination of doing this motor activity connected with the phrasing and thought A, was calming for people, but B, they believe also worked on the concept of neuroplasticity. And so that was a type of meditation that was specifically researched for Alzheimer's disease. So, whether you are taking a single sound or thought, maybe that's a humming sound, or you're listening to, again, a tape or an audible where someone is guiding you through this sound, or chanting. Sometimes you'll hear people, they'll do like the bowl, and you can hear where they have a bowl and they rub around the outside and it makes sort of a harmonic sound, and they focus on that. The biggest thing with meditation is to be kind to yourself, because thoughts will come in our brain as we sit there, and it's part of human nature. And so you're sitting there, and if you sit there for very long, you start to think about other things because we're easily distracted. And so I know, and so it's important to honor that and say to yourself, okay, I recognize that this thought came in, and just kind of gently push it back out for a few more minutes. It'll be there, it'll wait for you, but give it a second to go away and focus back in on the task at hand. And try not to set yourself up with too lofty of goals at the beginning. If you can meditate for a couple of minutes, if you can take 1 minute even and just close your brain down and, again, look at a picture of a waterfall, maybe it's a video, listen to a podcast that has a 1 minute meditation, use an app like Calm or Headspace, do something that guides you through a very short meditation. And then, just like exercising your body, you need to build up stamina. And so over time, it will get easier and you will get better at it. The big trick is recognizing when you need to do it and taking that moment to do it. Now, if you are a caregiver, whether you're caring for someone with dementia, or you're a parent with young children, or maybe you're a nurse or a doctor at a hospital, whatever it is, if you're in a caregiver role.
Or if you're married.
It can be really challenging sometimes to separate and have that quiet space where you can do that. So there are, things that you can do where you can play like an audible like this and actually integrate it into your time, maybe taking a shower or taking a bath. There are even some really great ones that are for sleeping at night. And so I'm not usually a huge fan of a cell phone in the bedroom, but if you need access to something like this and you want help with a meditation, sometimes one of the easiest times to do that is when you're going to bed at night, because our brains are already going a million miles an hour. So it gives us permission to say, nope, I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to just focus for a minute. So finding a set of headphones and, again, starting out at just a minute. Maybe, it's using the restroom, in the shower, when you're going to bed at night, to steal little moments to be able to try this.
Okay, so my big takeaway is that you can meditate while multitasking. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, sort of.
Okay.
So ideally, again, that we would take a quiet moment to simply focus on that.
Okay.
But if you are in
the shower.
Yeah. Absolutely. But if you are in a situation where you, because of your caregiving role and needs, literally cannot separate from that other person because of a safety risk or something like that, you have to find a way to be able to do it safely. So that is, in a sense, multitasking. A great way is, can you get the person you're caring for to do it with you?
That's a great idea.
My children, when they were little, would every day get to do yoga with me, and we would lay on the floor at the end of it and we would do either a breathing exercise or some sort of progressive muscular relaxation activity, and it's great tools for them to learn.
Oh yeah.
Also, if you're caring for an adult who is willing to participate with you, they may not get the same benefit from it as far as the intent, but the outcome should be the same, which is a moment to connect together in a safe space and do something that feels good for both of you. And so what's relaxing to one person is maybe different to another, but as long as the outcome is the same for both people, you've achieved your goal.
Okay, and you mentioned apps?
Yes, absolutely. So there's lots of great apps out there. Some are free, some have memberships. For example, Calm, Headspace, the WhatsApp app. Those are each some of the basic ones. Aura, some of them have free portions, some have paid portions. I'll send you some information that you can put some up on your guys' site.
Perfect.
Also, if you just look again on YouTube, you can type in, progressive muscular relaxation, and you can get all sorts of free videos where someone will walk you through it step by step. Same thing again with guided meditations. There are all sorts of really, really great resources on the internet that are absolutely free that you can play on your headphones, play on your cell phone, play on your computer, whatever, just to give you kind of that start. But again, if you're in a situation where you just don't even have access to all that, and that sounds complicated, the best basic thing you can do is either, again, connect back outside with really focusing on just an element of nature for a few minutes, or connecting back to your breath, which are the two first elements we talked about. And those in and of themselves can become a form of meditation.
Okay. This is great stuff. Like, everyone just take a second and feel what your face is doing. Because when you were talking about that, I realized, like, my face was tense.
Yes.
So just take a second, let it all out, and come back next Tuesday for number 4.
Absolutely. And my message to you all as you're going home is, remember, be kind to yourself. It takes practice. So nobody's going to be perfect at meditation right from the start. No one person is going to be good at all forms. So just like any other type of exercise or activity or art or whatever, try lots of different ones and find the one that works for you.
Okay. Dr. Marci Hardy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. We will see you guys all next week. Have a great week.
Bye.